Hi everyone. It's a great time to say compliments of the season. Yes, you see me, I'm all dressed for the occasion, and the background shows that we're trying to keep the place lively and looking like the season on our end here as well. But it's definitely a delight to be here. It's my first time this month, so I don't want to miss saying a wonderful blessing and prayers on everyone who is celebrating this month. I'm also a December celebrant. Yes, my husband and myself, we celebrate our anniversary in the month of December, actually in just about a week's time. Yes, about a week's time we're going to be celebrating our anniversary. And for every other person who is celebrating something special, I feel like we always have something special to celebrate in the month of December. So compliments of the season to everyone, and birthday blessings, anniversary blessings to everyone celebrating one thing or the other. So as we come in today, I just want you to start to think, what does December represent for you? What does December represent for you? I know for everyone who is celebrating, you'll probably be saying, of course, it kind of marks my birthday. For some people, it's to say, it's Christmas, for heaven's sake, I get to get gifts, right? For some other people, they say, it's Christmas, I get to give gifts. So it's a different perspective for some people, but what does, December represent for you? So if you have a special thing around December, the month of December, I want you to drop it in the comment section for me, where if you're watching this as well, please give me a hashtag replay so that I know that, you are here and you got to watch this, even though you were not present with us live. But I want you to think about what December represents for you, and that's really where I want to start. And for a lot of us, I would say, December does mark an opportunity for a break. For me, apart from the celebrations of Christmas and the celebrations of my anniversary and some other loved ones who have their birthdays at this time, it's actually a time of taking a break. I'm always looking forward to it. The people that I work with and I have sessions with, they would know. For anyone who's done anything with me for more than a year, I'm always like, I'm going on a break. Okay, I see Juwa is saying it's a report card month. Yes, definitely. And I'm coming back to that shortly. And for some people, I take 2 breaks in a year. One during summer, because the kids are on holiday then, and I think it's also a time to take a breather, right? After going through and pushing yourself all the way from January. But coming in through that summer month, I always take a break. But December is an exciting one, because it's not just a time where you take a break. You know that when you're back from your break, you're starting on a clean slate. So after the break is a clean slate. So December marks a timeline point. Just last month we talked about timelines, we talked about connecting certain dots, we talked about those points in your life where you really appreciate things that have happened. December is like that blessed month in the calendar year where you can conveniently do that, apart from your birthday. So some people, they do those things on their birthdays, but really you look at it in that light and you start to appreciate December differently. So the break for me is incredible. And I think that most organizations, they give that break where you kind of take time off for some days, usually just Christmas for some, but usually the New Year's Eve into the New Year, you will see some organizations that will close down for the year, because there's this thing around taking that break and just taking a breather. Some people take their vacations, long overdue vacations in December as well. I know that for a lot of us, it's that time, just like, we've had some who have joined us tonight say that it's that moment where you get to get a breather and you take a time to reflect. Now, when reflections happen for a lot of us, what we could be doing is saying, well done. We could be saying well done to ourselves. We are saying well done for, connecting with that person, making that relationship, starting that project, completing that project. For some other people, it could be making that conference you've wanted to start. I was speaking with a friend from high school recently, and she was talking about how some time ago she learned to ski. So it might be you who learned to do something like skiing this year, or swimming, or tennis, or it could be something that you look at. But at times like this, what we do is we look at the season and we say, I did this year, and then I got this outcome. Some people, they multiplied their income, they multiplied their savings, they invested more. It could be something along the finance angle. For some people, it's even something along the lines of health. Oh, I lost this number of kg or pounds. Okay, I run faster now, or I sleep more now, I take more water, so I'm more hydrated. I think for some of us, we started picking up on some beauty routines that we didn't used to, take seriously before, but we are starting to see changes. But for whatever it is, a good part of our reflections, we are saying, oh, we've done well. However, for some of us, we do use those reflection times to identify the downtimes we've had. So if you've had a downtime this year and you're like me, please just let me know that I'm not the only one on this table. I'm not the only one here today who can say, I've had a downtime. I have had a downtime. I'll share with you 2 downtimes I've had, and that's really what we're going to be talking about today. The bounce back quotient, your ability to bounce back. So if you've had a downtime this year, just give me a wave, because I have had. Let me share with you 2 downtimes that I've had this year, because I know sometimes when you see those of us who show up a lot online, who are facilitating sessions or, having one-on-one private sessions with people to help them to move towards their goal, the tendency to think that, oh, we're always getting it all right. Quite the contrary. We have our downtimes, and that's why I want to talk about downtimes today, because when we think about the moment of reflecting, a lot of people don't want to get into those reflection moments because they're like, I've not made it so great in this last season. So what is there to celebrate? I've not made it great in the last 1 year. I've not grown. What is there to celebrate? I see Ayo and Juwan saying I've had downtimes myself. Let me share some recent ones with you. I was having one end of day, conversation and connection with my husband recently, and it was just about to go to bed. And then he asked me, so what do you plan to do? What are your plans? He always asks me that sometimes because we want to see, do we want to watch a movie together? Do we want to talk more about something that has been pressing on our minds or things like that? And then I told him, I'm going to do this, then I'm going to cry. I told him I'm going to cry, and he was like, okay. Then he said, it's okay to cry. And it was really quite heartwarming to have someone in my space tell me it's okay to cry. And I'm sure a lot of people will be wondering, FolaFayo, what exactly will be making you cry? Well, yeah. I mean, at that time, I had a lot of things that I wanted to do, and it seemed like I had just little time to cover it. I had a lot, and it seemed like I had little time to do it. And I felt that a way to relieve my stress in that downtime was to cry. And, it was good to have someone tell me it's okay if you feel that way at that moment. And, we talked about it. We looked into all the things I needed to do, how I needed to spread out the load to be a bit more, smoother for me. And even when he was finally leaving me in the lounge to go sleep, he still asked me, will you still be crying? And I was like, I think I might still cry a bit because I felt that I needed to cry, right? So that was one downtime I had. And it just happened like some weeks ago. Another downtime I had was a test that I did. Now, this is a test that I would say is like my 3rd or 4th test doing in the last 4 years of my life. It's a driver's test, right? Of course, you need to do a driver's test in some countries to get, your licenses, approved and things like that. I had this test not passed. I'm using the word not passed because you see me, I'm trying to even struggle with the word fail, because I'm like, did I really quite fail? Or was the way I was assessed and all of that? But anyway, I didn't get it right in another country we lived in. And the second time I got it right. So on this occasion, there were 2 parts to the test. And when we were done, the assessor just, we packed, and then the assessor told me, the good thing is that you did make one part of the test. But the other thing is that you need to come back to redo this other part of the test. And I felt so bad because what was on my mind was not the fact that I didn't make the test. What was on my mind was I have very little time. With the little time I have left, I have to go do practice online, do practice in person with an instructor for a number of hours, and then come back. And I was like, I don't have time for this. But that was really what bothered me the most. But the thing that I actually observed about myself after that time was that within 24 hours, I was already looking for a way to fix the situation. I was already saying, okay, which online schools do I need to sign up for to do the online classes? Which instructors am I going to engage? Now, I've not yet taken the test yet because, I'm looking at my schedule to look for the best time to get it done. But it was at that time that I actually had to tell myself, Bukola, you have a bounce back ability. You are able to bounce within 24 hours. So I felt bad at the initial moment of the person telling me, you didn't quite pass this second part of the test. But then the way I launched full force into looking for a way to fix it within 24 hours, I had to applaud myself. So I know we're coming to that point in the year where a lot of people will be like, it wasn't quite a great year. And there were a lot of meltdowns for me. I shared my meltdown and I wanted to cry. I've shared with you a test that I did that I passed only one part of it and I didn't make the other part of it. But for some other people, it could have been, you got to know. It could be a guy, there's a girl in your life. Well, a girl, I still like to use the word girl for we ladies. There's a lady in your life that you love. You want to connect with her move to the next level of relationship with her and, probably even get married. And she's like, no. For some people, it's an outright rejection of an approval. For some other people, it could be an investment that you made financially, and it returns nothing to write home about because it just wasn't in a good place for you. But whatever it is that you might have had that meltdown in, the question is, where are you today on that? And I'm here today as we come to the very last session on Thrive Today for year 2023 to tell you that you have a bounce back quotient. Now, some of us, like I said earlier, might be, more familiar with the fact that there's something called IQ. IQ measures your level of intelligence, particularly with being able to solve things intellectually. Emotional intelligence quotient also measures your emotional capacity to manage situations, to manage yourself and to manage other people and all of that. But bounce back quotient, it's saying that this is your ability to quickly respond in a situation, to handle it. Now, I'm not talking about denying the fact that the thing is in that space. I'm not saying that you should tell yourself, oh, I'm not, failing. I'm trying to not use the word failure, but it's not like saying the wrong thing to yourself, but being able to identify the fact that I didn't quite have what it took to make it through that test or that approval, but I can retake it again. It's being able to shake yourself up and say, let me give this thing another shot. Are you at that point where you're looking at all those things that didn't go so well for you in the year and you're not even seeing 2023 for what it is worth because you're still kind of overtaken and overwhelmed by the things that didn't work so well? Again, even if you're there, I am here only to remind you tonight that you have the ability to bounce back. The ability to bounce back is there. Now, let me tell you something that will make you kind of rethink those downtimes. Whenever you do something you're very familiar with. So if you're a photographer, I know I have a photographer in the house, right? You've taken pictures before. If you take your camera and you want to just, take the picture of a cup in your living room, you've taken pictures before. You would take it, you will get it, and when you have to edit it, you'll probably do an amazing job. Why? Because it's something you do. It's already your area of comfort. But guess what? If you get an invitation to come and shoot something you've never shot before, what is likely to happen? Something that is big. Or let's say you're someone who is into portraits, and then you get an invitation to come shoot maybe a portrait session for a president. You're probably going to be a little bit nerved up that, oh my God, I've never done this before. What could happen? You could make a miss. You could also make a pass on it, right? But the thing is this, that fail or that miss that happens in that moment happened because it is something new or it is something challenging. So anytime you're seeing yourself in a place where you're like, but I don't really like the outcome of what has happened to me, you probably need to ask yourself, was this thing new? Was this thing new? Because if it's something you've done before and you're not getting it right, then that's a different conversation because something must be going on there, which I will just touch on tonight before we're done. But if it is something new or it is something challenging, you need to really give yourself a pat on the back for even attempting it. Why? Because the number of people that attempt new things per day are few, and you're one of the few. A lot of people don't want to do new things. A lot of people don't want to try anything challenging. Why? Because it is easier to do the things that you're familiar with. So if you find yourself in that place where you attempted a new investment, a new project, and you didn't quite make it like you wanted, and you found yourself in a downtime that required a bouncing back, you really need to give yourself a pat on the back. Because launching and moving forward into a challenging space or a new space is a sign of strength. And so as you take stock of the year and you're saying, I didn't pass at this thing, you need to probably include the fact that because I took a new path or I took a different and challenging option, that showed a sign of strength for me. And you need to really actually applaud yourself in the moment because it is not an easy thing to step out of your comfort zone. And if you've stepped out of your comfort zone over and over in year 2023 and you didn't quite get the results you wanted, the fact that you decided to step out of that comfort zone, please make sure you're giving yourself a pat in the back. In fact, make sure you get yourself a gift, wrap it up and put it right under your Christmas tree. So even no one in the family feels you need to get a gift. If no one in your industry is saying you need to get a gift, get yourself a gift, wrap it up and put it right under the tree, because you deserve a gift, an award, a commendation for that. And I commend you. All right. It's something not so easy to do. But you know, one thing I just want us not to forget today, as we go into this reflection time and appreciating the things we got right, giving ourselves thumbs up on those things, and the things we didn't quite get right, and we're like, I don't want to give yourself a thumbs down on that thing. So let's just say you're still giving yourself a horizontal on that one, is to say, what does this point to me? What does this show me? What does this reveal to me? All right. So I'm going to tell us a few things about the bounce back quotient idea today. And I'm hoping that as we all start to reflect a little bit more into the year and to reposition, because I know that 2023 is coming to an end, and this is the right time to start to reposition even more strategically to win better for 2024, will be these things. That downtime, it did not only point to the fact that you've tried something new and something different and something challenging. It's also a pointer to the fact that you are changing. I always tell people this whenever they go through a process, to say, you know, the person that you are now is not who you were at the beginning. So if you think about how you were at the beginning, January 2023 to now, okay, we are not done with the year, but look at yourself. You're not the same person. You may say, oh, FolaFayo, the money in my account hasn't quite changed. But I can tell you that you've learned something different all through the year. You're a different person. And how do you know that you're different? Well, you took the challenge. You stepped out into something new. But then I can tell you this as well. You have now learned patience in the process. So for those of us that had to wait for someone to come back to tell us yes. Oh my goodness. My peers in this industry, you know how it works, right? You're putting out programs, you're putting out solutions, you're launching products, you're connecting with people, and you've not quite gotten the yes you want, or the invitation you want, or the acknowledgement or recognition that you want. You are building character. People of faith, you know what the Bible says about those times when you're pressing in for something. And then, you know, the Bible puts it this way, that it worketh patience in us. If anything, you're a more patient person. I was speaking with a friend of mine on handling rejection recently. And then she was saying this. She said that patience that is being worked in you, God needs it. That patience that is being worked in you, God needs that patience. So, patience is being worked in you. Strength is being worked in you, and confidence is being worked in you. Because when you decide to take that challenge on next time, guess what? There are angles to the challenge that you started to see that other people who haven't attempted it cannot see. So your confidence level is different. So when you're bouncing back, you're a different person. You might feel like, well, I'm still in a low place, but guess what? Embrace that quotient today and see how incredible your energy, confidence, strength, and character with respect to patience is. So it is at that level, a different level. The other thing that a downtime does to us that requires us to bounce back is that it tests your resolve or your desire. Your resolve and your desire are tested. So it's like the universe is asking you, how much do you want this thing? How bad do you want this thing? How much do you want this person? So for those of us that we want to get into a relationship or connection with someone, there's someone we've been trying to connect with to mentor us or to sponsor us. And the person has been, oh, I don't have time. I'm not interested. The universe is asking you, how much do you want it? How much do you want it? Do you really want that thing? Is it really something you desire? So if you bounce back on it, if you embrace your bounce back quotient, it shows that you really want it. I know a lot of people may say, but then, you know, there are times when you have to think about it. It might not just be what is there for you. Yeah, that takes us to the next point. It helps you to revisit your vision and your plan. So you are changed. That's number one. You're a different person. Your desire is tested. Number two. The third thing is that your approach or your goal will be revisited. Because if you think about it, you go to someone today. Let's just go back to relationship scenario. You go to someone today and you're trying to ask the person out. And the person tells you no, but you really like this person. Guess what? The next time you're going to ask the person out, you're not going to ask the person out the same way. If you probably bought the person a pen, the next time you're probably going to be buying the person lunch or dinner, something else. You're going to be doing something else. You're going to be re-strategizing. Your vision, your blueprint that comes out when you've bounced back is in finer details. And so you might be thinking to yourself that, oh, I really don't know. But guess what? You're going to be seeing with different eyes, with brighter eyes when you go back into looking at that thing. How did I put out my program? Reminds me of the first time I did a live session when I first started going live. Oh my God. I've become a bit more precise now with my sessions because I've learned with time. So I've gotten finer in my working, finer in the details of my working. When you bounce back, your vision and your plans have finer prints. They have a finer print. So please revisit that vision, because as you are being tested on that desire, as you are being tested on that goal, you're going to be going back and asking yourself, what do I need to adjust? What do I need to place before another one? What do I need to cut? For some of us, we need to cut some things off in the things that we are doing. It's okay. I didn't do this thing right because of this. All right, let's take it off. For some people, we need to add something. We don't have the right knowledge. We don't have the right skill. Okay, let me go and get the right knowledge about this. Oh, you didn't have the right connection. Okay, let me go connect with this person to help me. But the way you went about it, it is going to change. It is going to change. So you need to ask yourself, what must be modified? A modification is going to happen, because as you are being changed on your inside, as a result of the bouncing back, the same thing is going to happen for you. Now, the last thing that I want to leave us with tonight is this. Because you are bouncing back and embracing this quotient, what's going to happen is the more you bounce back, the stronger your bounce is going to be. The more you bounce back, the stronger your bounce is going to be. And guess what happens? You're going to bounce back faster. So I shared my not passing. Okay, I'll use the word failure. Okay, I did fail at that test. That happened to me recently, and how in 24 hours, I was able to start thinking about how do I fix this thing and all of that. I wasn't always like that. Trust me, I was the kind of person that in the past, when I was growing up as a teenager, even in my early 20s, if anything goes for me the way I didn't want it, oh my God, I will be in that conversation for days. Anytime I have a call with a friend, I'll be telling them, oh, guess what? This thing didn't work out the way I wanted it to work out. When I'm praying, I'm talking to God about it. Oh, I'll just be going online about it. I could spend days. But today, if anything goes not the way I want it, my bounce is bouncier. Let me put it in a livelier way. My bounce is stronger. And not what happens with bounce back is that the more you allow yourself to bounce back, the higher your bounce will be, and the shorter the distance apart of the bounce. The shorter apart your bounce will be. So you're going to bounce higher, you're going to bounce back faster, and then the distance between your bounces will be reducing. So are you embracing that bounce back today? I rewatched a video. I'm going to post that video up on my social media status, I think on WhatsApp and also here, on any platform. But if you don't get it, please DM me BBQ. That's bounce back quotient. Don't worry. I know it's not chicken and I know it's not beef, because I know it's Christmas time and everybody's thinking about food right now. So, but just send me BBQ if you think you need to just work a little bit more on this. And if you don't get, this video, I'll just share the link with you. But I watched this video again, that was done by a lady called Caroline. She's African, I believe, or she's of African descent, but she lives in America, or probably she is American, I'm not sure, but she's a CEO of Essence Ventures or something. And she was talking about a threshold that she has designed around her days. And the threshold is to permit her to fail at things up to 5 times. So she says when she fails at something, she just gets herself back up. Bam! First time. Second time, back. Third time, back. Fourth time, she's like, it's around midday. I'm still going. It's still okay. But she knows that if she has to fail the 6th time at whatever she's doing, then she needs to really readdress the issue. So the question is, when you're staying longer down because of something that happened, you need to ask yourself, what threshold have you really given yourself to make a miss or to fail at that thing? I know some people will be like, FolaFayo, there are some things we just shouldn't be failing at. I get it. But there's no failing moment that doesn't come with its reasons. It's either that thing wasn't meant for you, so there's another option outrightly meant for you, or you're not ready for it. It's just has to be one of those two things. But I prefer to say it wasn't meant for me. But if it is something I really want, then I need to ask myself, are you really ready for this opportunity? You need to ask yourself those things as well. But when you know that it is for you and you're ready to hold on to the desire to walk it through, you need to ask yourself, what's the threshold not to get it right on my first attempt that I'm going to give myself? This lady gives herself 5 failure points every day. That's a stretch. And that's her being fair to herself. You may say, FolaFayo, I think 2 a day is fine for me. It doesn't really quite matter what you design for yourself. But this is just letting yourself know that you have the ability to bounce back. I don't know how 2023 has been for you. I don't know if it's just one area of it, because some of us, we focus on just that one area that things are not working. And we say the year has not been good. But I know that there are areas that have been good. And if you're not yet appreciating the fullness and the beauty of your 2023, and you really still just want to make sure you re-strategize better for 2024, then please let's have a conversation, all right? Just DM me BBQ and let's have a conversation on this. But here's me letting you know that I commend you for stepping out on something new in 2023. I commend you for being open to the fact that you might have been hit and hit down. I commend you for stretching yourself in 2023 and for the many things you did do right that you've probably forgotten. I commend you. And as you enjoy the end of the year, my prayer is that the joy of the Lord that comes with this season will fill your hearts. But as it does that, may His light that He also brings to us in this season start to light your path for the year ahead. It's been such a wonderful pleasure being here with everyone all through the year. I think I've come up like 9 times or thereabouts this year, but I've been able to share a lot that can help you to transition better or to thrive better in your space. And if you're someone who's probably wondering, what's all this about? Okay, this is Thrive Today, where we share tips on transitions and thriving. And I am FolaFayo, the Perception Shaper. What I do is to support individuals, particularly executives, through their transitions to the next level. If you've been looking for someone to walk with you on this journey, I'm more than excited to do this with you. You can just send me a DM and we can get you started on whatever journey you might be on right now, needing some form of support or partnership. And I'll be more than delighted to work with you and to walk that journey with you. Enjoy the rest of the year 2023. Merry Christmas in advance. Happy New Year in advance, and see you all in 2024. God bless you.